Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Julie and this is my cancer life. This is where I like to share with you what it's like living with cancer day to day, from everything that I cook, the books I read, how I design and organize my home, and what I do on my chemo weeks to support my body and my mind, all while trying to live a great, happy life with cancer. I'm glad you're here. Losing my hair during chemo was one of the toughest things I had to face, partly because it was unexpected and it really defined my personality and how I felt about myself. When I was first diagnosed with cancer back in August of 2020, the chemo that I was put on in the fall thinned my hair, but it did not cause it to fall out where you would actually notice. My hair was very long at the time, and it had been long for years. It wasn't until my chemo was changed up to a different kind, and it started to thin, and I'll never forget the day. It was actually, I just came to me the other, about a week ago, that it was exactly 3 years ago. I was getting out of the shower and I ran my hand over my head and came up with a clump of hair. And at that time it was long, I was shocked, I was upset, I cried, and didn't know what to do. So I ended up cutting my hair short into like a bob, and I did everything I could to cover the thinness as it progressed. I wore caps, it was during the winter time, and I was working outside of the home, and I had several that matched my outfits. I tried scarves, they didn't really work well for me, and I even purchased a wig, and I had never purchased a wig before and didn't realize they come in sizes, and the density of the hair was so thick that it looked very unnatural on me, and I never really even wore it. I tried, I brought it to my hairdresser. It just didn't work for me, and it still sits in a box in my closet. I went through that time and I tried to make it work, and I just really struggled with it. And it came to the point, I'll never forget, it was a Saturday, and I woke up in the morning and I thought, this is one piece of the puzzle that I shouldn't have to stress about or deal with everything else going on in my life. So I went to my daughter and we got my husband's electric shaver, and she shaved my head along with his, of course, his is still shaved. And I just remember the freeing feeling I had when she shaved my head. It had a little bit of stubble, but I made it work. I just owned it, and I didn't try and cover it up. And I went to work 2 days later with my shaved head, and it was just the new me at that time. And it really lifted a huge weight off of my shoulders. It grew out as my chemo intensity was dialed back. And it takes a long time for your hair to grow out, but I kept it as a bob when it got to that length and just maintained it because I was still on and off chemo, and I had a feeling that this might happen again. In about a month and a half ago, my oncologist wanted to dial up my chemo again, and I knew that I was going to lose my hair. And within about 2 to 3 weeks, it really started to thin. Every time I combed it, lots of hair came out in my comb. And I thought, I'm not gonna make this last as long as I tried before. And I'm just going to, I think, it'll be time to shave my head soon. And I knew what to expect, and I was okay with it. I know that it will grow back. And so I decided to do that. I did, however, purchase another wig. Now knowing what I didn't know back then, I haven't gotten it yet, but this is what it looks like. So last week, my husband and I were running out to do some errands on a Saturday, and we stopped at Super Clips around the corner from us, and she shaved my head. I didn't feel sad, and I feel like less thing for me to worry about. And I know, as especially a woman, our hair matches our personalities, and we equate it to what our look is and how we dress and how others view us and how we view ourselves. It's very difficult. And I know that it's going to grow back, and this is part of my life. This is part of my cancer life, and it is okay. I am still the same person I was when I had hair, but I just didn't want to wake up every day and try and comb it in the right place and keep it in that right place. And I live in Chicago, and today we have winds of like 40 miles an hour. There's no way that my thin hair was gonna stay where I wanted it to stay without having to wear a baseball cap every day or something to keep it in place, and I'm okay with that. I also was hesitant to shave my head back then is because I didn't want everyone to look at me and say, oh, that poor woman, she has cancer. And you know, now that I have been in it for almost 6 years, it doesn't bother me. Let them think that. I have gone through so much, and this is my cancer life. They can think of me what they want, and I'm proud of all that I've been through and all the support I've gotten and being the way that I am. So this is something that I want to celebrate. This is my cancer life. This is my journey. This is who I am. And I know that it's difficult. And if you could share with me one of your stories, that would be great, or with someone you love, because it is often very tough on the people who take care of us, our loved ones around us, to see us that way, because it really makes it real. It was very difficult for my husband and my kids to see me with a shaved head. But as time went on and we just kept going on with what we were doing, it was okay, and they know it. And before I did this again, we let them know, just so they don't live in the home anymore, but if we FaceTime, it wouldn't be a complete shock when they see me for the first time without my hair. But thank you for listening. This is something that's very important. And not all of us lose our hair when we go through chemotherapy, but a lot of us, our hair thins, and we, lose quite a bit of it, but we're still us. We still do our thing, and that's what's important. Thanks for listening.